मुन्ना भैया भाई
जलवा है
मुन्ना भैया
इसको बस एक डायलॉग पता है, उसे कुछ नहीं पता है.
Have you ever been in a situation where मोहब्बत got damn
मोहब्बत
messy?
with your Saali is what she's asking.
मुन्ना भैया का ही लाइन होता कि तुम जलन बरकरार रखना, हम जलवा बरकरार रखेंगे. Have you ever had messy love?
No.
Clean love. What
Very,
the
very
hell?
clean, yes.
Wrong casting, ma'am.
I always valued our friendship more.
बिल्कुल.
लेकिन फिर कब तक बेचारी वो सह पाती मेरे चाम. मैंने मजबूर किया पहले उसे ये बुलवाने पे कि हाँ मुझे तुमसे मोहब्बत है.
क्या बात है.
Quality of inhabiting their characters, each very differently, but the prep that they put in behind the scenes, I don't even know, I don't even want to know.
So I'm very young mother, I'm only a 1-year-old mother, but still my point of view is changing so rapidly. My mother and my family took so much shit to fight for me.
He called me like 5 days or 7 days before the shoot, and my first schedule was starting with Kashyap. And I panicked.
What's up with Manish Malhotra? I mean, everything he talks about love seems to be either Hustak or Saali or like messy, and I think I'm going to find out with his actors and directors. Saali Mohabbat is going to be dropping on Z5 on the 12th of December, and I cannot tell you what a delicious film it is. There's no other way to describe it. Also, to top it all, Tisca turns director with this film. This is not the first time she's behind the camera. She's done it before, but this one's definitely a full-length feature directorial debut. To add to that, we've got Divyendu, one of our favorite men on the screen. And of course, can I tell you how much I love Radhika Apte? I think they all know it already. Now that I've sufficiently embarrassed you all, hi and welcome to Just to Filmy, guys!
Hi! And
Guys!
Not at all embarrassed. Yeah, thank you so much for the kind words. No, really.
No, this
So
is
sweet of you.
amazing. I watched the film, and which is why I think that's why if the film's fun, then you can have the same sort of tone in the interview. You guys have made a fun film. Let me start with that.
Wow.
Okay, so ma'am, आपसे शुरू करते हैं. This was obviously in the offing for a really long time. We've spoken about it when you've come to the studio.
Yes.
And do you think there couldn't have been a better debut for you as a feature-length director?
I'm delighted that you're saying that. I hope so, fingers crossed. You're our early audience, so
Yes.
you know, it's good to hear that. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And what made you think that this should be the film that had your direction behind it?
I don't know, I never planned it like that.
Yeah,
As
tell
I
us
was
how it happened.
mentioning in an earlier interview, I was saying that I wrote it to act in it. And that was the idea. And then when I started speaking to Manish, and he became, he came on as producer, and he said, no, I don't think you should act in it because, you know, you can see it so clearly, so you should direct it, but don't take on too much. He's a friend, so, you know, he would caution me or say the right thing, and he has the right kind of experience, so many years. So I pondered it for a bit, and then I said, okay, done, let's do it.
Amazing.
And yeah.
And that's how it happened.
Yes.
And then it came to, of course, casting your characters. When an actor sees themselves in a role, it's very important that they find someone who's, at least hamare man mein, you know, can do justice. And I want to ask you how these two amazing actors made the time, okay, to be part of this dream for you.
Well, firstly, I'm glad that they did, because I can't frankly see anyone else in these roles or have this idea that I wish wo hota ya ye hota. And you've seen the film, so you know it's like watching, I've mentioned this before as well, like watching Virat and Rahul bat. Yeah, so it's like, you know, particularly their scenes together, which are quite long sometimes, but they held it so well. And the quality of inhabiting their characters, each very differently. They came at their characters very differently. But the prep that they put in behind the scenes, I don't even know, I don't even want to know how they prepped it or what they did. But when they were on set, there was no amateurishness whatsoever. They were on the ball, ready, a little tweak here, a little something there, maybe a little suggestion of this or that or the other, or a little pacing or something. But other than that, they were right there. So
yes, absolutely. Radhika, I have to say it's such a pleasure to just watch you on screen. Like just as Radhika Apte fan club. Like yeah, we enjoyed Sister Midnight this year.
Oh, thanks.
What a
Thanks for
fab
watching
thing.
it.
Of
Not a lot
course,
of people
course.
watched it.
I watched it in the theater.
Oh, nice.
Because it had a run in the
Yeah,
theater.
small one. Yeah.
And we have you again this year, which is so amazing. I do want to ask you that एक तो ये कि राधिका आप्टे ज़्यादा फिल्में कीजिए हमारे लिए. So इससे शुरुआत करते हैं. But let's talk about साली मोहब्बत. What was it for you to be a part of this film?
It was the script, the script and the script, because I feel like when you talk about a thriller normally, you always expect it to be, not expect, but in our industry at least, we make it like fast-paced thriller about like action, and there is whatever gory crime or some bloody, quite disturbing something has happened. This wasn't about that. This was a how done it and not a who done it, and it's really about the psyche of these characters and their intimate relationships and how the flawedness of everything, and I think what I like about it is it's a slow burn, and there's so much stillness in it, and the whole thing of plants and gardening that she's brought in. I mean, that's like an entire character in itself. The aesthetics of the film, the pacing of the film, the dialogue of the film, all of it is very poetic, actually. And that's why I was very drawn towards it, because you don't see such thrillers of that
quote
nature.
Unquote thrillers, absolutely.
Exactly. So that's what drew me
No,
to
and I
it.
loved it because she's also such a कहानी वही बता रही है हमें, लेकिन क्या हमें इन पर विश्वास भी करना है? I think that was so fun, because I love unreliable narrators, and I love it that we're hearing this from her point of view. So I think that there was that also to play with, so it was a lot of fun. Divyendu, let me just say, जितना देखो तुम्हें काफी नहीं है. Okay? So there's a line in the film जहाँ पर you ask a girl कि आपको आपकी कॉफी कैसे पसंद है, and she says कड़क और गरम. But there's a reaction that you give to that, which is almost like मैं जानता हूँ आप मेरी बात कर रही हैं. Without saying it, I think that you just nail that moment for me as a character, and it will always stay with me. So I wanted to ask you, कि यार, what a fun world. You have these amazing women around you, and you're still shining. So what was the most fun part of, being part of this project for you?
I think almost everything, it's the kind of milieu we were in, the story, everything. And again, a very sweet, subtle way of telling a thriller. It's got so many layers. It's got this script, I very clearly remember when I first read it, there was certain fragrance about this script, which was few things were not very clear. It was very misty, mystical sort of a space we were in. And I really like that so much. I really like that, almost every character is grey. And that's why they are so relatable. Talking about Ratan, it was again a very tightrope walking, because you want to be a good guy, you want to achieve a lot in life, but there is this other thing happening, professional, personal, mixing up. So it's just everything coming together. But just that fragrance of the script kept pulling me towards it.
Sure. And what a beautiful way to say it. I love it. I really wanted to ask you how, thanks to OTT, we just have like a new stardom, and I think a lot of us have experienced that. We have formed such bonds with your character Munna, for example, and I think that gives you a chance to just redefine stardom. Do you think that your stardom has been redefined just by the sheer availability of your content, which is literally in their palms? Do you think it's brought you closer to your audience?
Definitely, yes. I think the penetration of OTT has been like really, really deep, and it's across classes, masses, your age groups or whatever you may call it. That, and just to give the audiences a chance to have something else rather than a set thali of commercial cinema.
Bilkul.
One dal, roti, sabzi, achar. Every time we used to offer this, and suddenly there is a buffet of films now and genres where people can go pick their own thing, and it offers you such a personalized way of looking at films and stories. That, I think, has been the game changer for people like me, us, I don't know, and it's been really good for our cinema per se, that it has just widened the horizons of, audiences to just, they're much more receptive now to new things and new stories.
Yeah.
And they look forward to it.
Yeah. And the identification is high, Tisca. I just feel like, you are taking a story. Can you tell us the name of where the city is, where it's set, for example?
Fursatganj.
So, my husband studied flying at a place called Fursatganj. When he told me Fursatganj, my brain reeled. I was like, actually there's a place called Fursatganj? Kya jagah hogi yaar wo? But I didn't want to set it in a specific place like Fursatganj because we're not going to be shooting in Fursatganj and I don't know what Fursatganj is like. I've never been to Fursatganj. Correct. So we called it Fursatgarh. But Fursatgarh is also, as you know,
a fictional place, right?
Sort of. So it is everywhere and nowhere.
Nowhere, yeah.
So I like the name. Fursatganj.
I loved it because I looked for it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
कहाँ है यार ये यूपी में है बिहार में एक बार मैं चेक कर लेती हूँ फिर मैंने कहा ये तो बनाया इन लोगों ने मुझे we're not going to give you any spoilers but there's a lot about the film that you're going to really enjoy. Maybe Google, maybe, I don't know. But what I love is that here's and we got to talk about Manish coming in as well and being part of this project because I just think that if we as an audience only see what we're shown, we do not look at artists as being beyond what we see on the screen. And I think for the two of you, of course, that's a personal thing. But for Manish Malhotra, I feel like that's been the biggest lesson because here we are. We thought of Manish Malhotra as someone who just wants to make people look pretty. And here his narratives, whether it's Ustaq, whether it's Saali Mohabbat, he's taken films that are actually showing us the real people of our country, which I'm really enjoying. Also because I love these characters. So what was a penny drop for you with Manish Malhotra as a producer?
I met him in 22, October.
Okay. Yeah.
And I narrated the film to him, Sanjay and I, that's my husband and also the co-writer of the film. The two of us went and narrated it. And in 3 minutes of him hearing the script, he just looked at me, he went quiet and I could almost hear the wheels in his brain. And then they stopped and he said, we're making it. And from that moment till today, like I said, he's never ever pulled back on anything. In 3 days, I got a check. And from then on, it was okay, if this is not working, then this way, then this way, then that way, then that way. But he was focused on making the film. And that for me was the biggest learning, to watch somebody with his experience and his seniority to bring to my life that, if you've decided you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Everything else is,
हो जाएगा.
नहीं, in the sense कि वहाँ से भी वापस उधर ही आना है.
बिल्कुल.
जो रास्ता है वो तो तय किया हुआ है आपने. So that's what I really learned from him. And his aesthetic, which so it's not every director who gets an artist for a producer. That's good fortune.
That's so true.
Because when you have an artist, he's not counting shifts. He's not looking at. So if I went to him with an appeal and said that, I really need this. Like this is important for me. He'd say, yes. Yeah, okay. I will make it happen. So how he squeezed, how he cut corners, what he did, what he didn't do, I never got to know about it. But it was there for me. Whatever I needed, whatever I asked for.
Wonderful.
So that is a blessing.
Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. What is the best thing about having Tisca as a director? Because I hate to talk about women directors as women directors. True, yeah. But I do know Tisca is beyond just a woman director. She's also Tisca, yaar. Like she's writing. She's been writing for so long. She's been acting. Is the love for the movies the reason why this makes it fun for you?
I think to have Tisca, who's performed, as we've been an actor for so long, it's such a, it's so important. It adds so much value. Because I think as actors and writers, right? She's also the writer. There's such passion, a genuine love for characters, right? The nuance of the character. You live the character while you're writing, and as an actor, you just know your mind goes there. So everything is driven by character.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest value, because a lot of directors sort of go into more technicalities of how to do it, or more plot on how to do it, and a lot is focused on that, can be focused on that. But I think not all of them, but I think with actors that's an added advantage. Also, as she's an actor, there are challenges an actor faces with certain scenes. That I can't connect this to this, or how do you portray this because we don't have this and XYZ. All those challenges she already is aware of. So there's an easy communication from us. There is no need to communicate, actually. She's already covered those parts. So I think that really helps. That's something that I had never had before. It's the first time I've ever worked with a director who's actually also an actor. So,
wow.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever worked with a director.
That's true, actually.
I mean, Anurag Kashyap.
Anurag acts later.
Exactly.
The director first.
He's an actor when
his acting is miscellaneous.
Like a holiday.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go on a holiday. So let me act.
But you got Anurag also. How did that happen?
That was actually default se ho gaya wo. Matlab, he was supposed to initially produce the film.
Yes.
And we had many chats about the film. He said, "Tu mere ko bhej, tu script bhej, tu mere ko suna mat, main fir tere sunne mein main phas jaunga." So I said, "Nahi phasoge, let me narrate." He said, "Nahi, main padunga." So I sent it to him. He read it. This is before this acting conversation, and he said, "Ye to main banaunga, ye to main pakka banaunga, ye to India ki Parasite hai, ye to main pakka banaunga." Then the lockdown happened and lots of things changed, etc. And then I went to him and I told him Manish is producing it, and he said, "Bahut badhiya aadmi hai, tu bana." So then Manish happened, and there was another actor who was doing this part, and he called me like 5 days or 7 days before the shoot, and my first schedule was starting with Kashyap. And I panicked. That guy called me and told me I've fallen in the bathroom and I'm not fitting into the clothes and I can't lift my arm and all of that. So I was like, shit. I didn't want to be a bad person and say, aise hi aaja, koi baat nahi, manage kar lenge, whatever. You don't want to be that human being who's thinking aise. But it was the film and I was like, shit, location is booked. Sara sets ban gaya hai and everything. So then I spoke to Manish. I said, I'm going to call Kashyap. He said, yeah, you see if he'll do it. So I said, okay. So I called Kashyap. He was like, main Australia mein hu. So I was like, were you sleeping? He said, so raha tha. So I said, we flight leke aa jao yaar kal. Kya ho gaya hai? So I said, aisa. So he said, acha, kal to nahi parso aa jata hu. ठीक है मैं आ जाता हूँ.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah, he's a
yeah. I do want to talk to each of you about how first to Radhika. There's this as the protagonist of this narrative. She's also watching so much, and there's so many times that I got very angry on her behalf. Because the truth is that there are Indian women all the time in homes जहाँ पर बाहर से अगर देखा जाए तो उनको संतुलन बनाए रखना है. They have to smile, they have to wear the ghungat, they have to wear sindoor, whatever, and they do it, but they are done so wrong too. Okay, so I wanted to ask you that does that anger, like a collective anger, it may not be personal, but did it find itself in your performance? Because I just felt that there was so much of that there.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I have always spoken out in my life, and I've never taken any of that shit. But I say that not with pride, but with gratitude. Because the reason I'm like that is because my mother and my family took so much shit to fight for me.
Yeah.
And gave me the security and the confidence to be like that.
Yeah.
But I have grown up and I still see so many women trapped in a certain way of being, and intelligent, successful, educated women who know, but they just cannot get out of it. It's in their DNA. It's there inside. Yeah. They cannot change it. You can tell them that I'll support you, I'll take care of you, I'll do everything you need. Leave. But they will not. They will not leave.
No, they're conditioned now a certain way.
One of the women, one of my very close relative I have grown up admiring. Like, she was the life of the party. She would come and we would just gravitate towards her. She's a storyteller. She's like absolutely fantastic. One of the most intelligent women I've known. She got into a horrible marriage. Everybody told her constantly to get out of it. She just wouldn't. She never got out of it. And then one day I got a call saying that husband out of the blue died. We all jumped with joy. We were like, I remember where I was in the car, and I said yes. And I was like, my goodness, I've never reacted like that to somebody's death. But it was an abusive relationship, but she wouldn't get out. So yes, subconsciously it's there. When I think of that, there are lots of women who come to mind, and there are lots of men who come to mind who I've known very closely and have not been able to speak against. And sometimes it's funny you ask. Sometimes now, and especially now, and I say this, I'm a very young mother. I'm only a 1-year-old mother, but still, my point of view is changing so rapidly. Now that I'm a mother, I feel it even more when I see other mothers, what they've gone through to protect their children and the shit they've taken. And I feel even more angry. And I said this to a couple of people. Actually, I said that I should have cut ties with these people on your behalf because you can't do it ages ago, which I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. And finally I did. I cut ties with 2 people saying that, with all due respect, please don't ever call me. We might be very close relatives. I want nothing to do with you. You've done wrong and I will not. Just don't be in touch with me. I finally did that. But there's accumulated anger towards so many people. And not that people are evil. It's not that. It's just...
No, they'll exploit you if you're okay to be exploited. That's
it's
the whole
both
thing.
ways. It's society. The problem is a lot of people who exploit are under pressure to exploit. It sounds really odd, but it's true. A lot of men are victims of patriarchy, right? That they don't get accepted in their peers. They are made fun of in their peers unless they
react a certain way.
No, I have to tell you, I had an aunt, a very successful businesswoman. She was a corporate woman, and I still remember when I was very young, she refused a promotion because she would be paid more than my uncle.
Wow.
And I was dumbfounded. And they make it an example. What's the other thing is, for the women who actually do this, they made examples of, ki dekho, unhone to ye kiya tha. So, passing it down to the other women in the house, saying that this is how you keep a marriage, or this is how you keep संतुलन बनाए रखना जरूरी है. तो उन्होंने ये किया था तो तुम याद रखना. So then there is also a guilt of making more money. Like, what if I make more money?
This word santulan is so wrong. I don't know how we use that word. What balance is this?
In this context. In this context,
What is this? This is santulan.
It's that. Because that's what I've heard, right?
It's not santulan, it's authority, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Of course.
That's it.
Absolutely. Before we go and I'm asked to leave, I do want to talk about mess. Thank you for that, Radhika, because there were so many of these things. Ma'am, we are doing a thesis.
Calling me ma'am,
I'll tell you why I'm saying it, because hum thesis kar rahe hain aapke script ki. That's the mark of a good script, right? That it emerges, or these conversations emerge from it. Like, there are so many women who are probably standing outside that door, like her character, looking at their husbands doing something wrong to them. And they have never had the, courage. They don't have the empowerment to just say something about it. So, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so let's talk about Saali Mohabbat, guys. How Saali is your Mohabbat? Okay, have you ever been in a situation where Mohabbat got damn messy?
Mohabbat with your Saali is what she's asking.
Messy love. Like, oh my God. Have you ever had messy love?
No.
Clean love?
Very clean, yes.
Wrong casting, ma'am. But anyway, talk to us about it. But you've heard about other people.
हाँ.
Yeah.
हाँ. लेकिन क्या बताऊँ? इसमें, it's मोहब्बत can be anything. मोहब्बत can, ये बड़ा ही मतलब शायराना सवाल है.
बिल्कुल.
तो उसमें तो
आपकी मोहब्बत साली कब थी?
हमारी मोहब्बत साली हुई जब मेरी तरफ से ही ज्यादा मोहब्बत थी आकांक्षा के लिए.
जी हाँ.
उनकी तरफ से नहीं थी. और मुझे बस यही लगता था, बिकॉज वी वर बेस्ट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स, कि अगर मैंने इजहार करा इस बात का तो दोस्ती ना खत्म हो जाए.
आपकी हिंदी कितनी अच्छी है.
बहुत.
मुन्ना भैया है भाई.
जलवा है.
जलवा है मुन्ना भैया.
इसको बस एक डायलॉग पता है, उसे कुछ नहीं पता है. तो कल पता चला है.
दोस्तों, आई थिंक ये मुन्ना भैया का ही लाइन होता है कि तुम जलन बरकरार रखना, हम जलवा बरकरार रखेंगे. बट यस, यू वर सेइंग.
तो मुझे हमेशा यही लगता था कि ये बोलने से कि कि ऐसा है मेरी तरफ से, लगता है कभी दोस्ती ना खत्म हो जाए.
बिल्कुल.
I always valued our friendship more.
बिल्कुल.
लेकिन फिर धीरे धीरे ऑब्वियसली आप कब तक बेचारी वो सह पाती मेरे चाम. So she gave in.
Oh, lovely.
तो मैंने मजबूर किया पहले उसे ये बुलवाने पे कि हाँ मुझे तुमसे मोहब्बत है.
क्या बात है. This is such a beautiful story. And I will come back for your stories another time. But I do want to say congratulations from the bottom of my heart, because I'm just a fan of the movies. And every time I watch a film that I love, I must come to you and I must tell you. Because as artists, that's all we want, right? You want the time that you've invested to land and, make time in the future. So I think this film is going to do that, guys. Mubarak ho.
Thank you.
Thank you.